Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today I am going to do Exp22 Excel Chapter 2 Mid-Level 1 Katherine's Coffee Shop Weekly Payroll. Basically, this is the second chapter of Excel section of this Pearson course, and in this video I will be doing this assignment step by step, and you can get your assignment done by watching this complete video. But if you want me to do this assignment for you, or if you want me to do this complete course for you, including all the Excel, Word, PowerPoint or Access assignments, then you can contact me and you can hire me for your complete course. You can also hire me for your other courses like accounting, management, finance, information technology, computer sciences, all other writing assignments, mathematics or statistics. You can reach me out through WhatsApp or email showing at the bottom of the screen. So at start of the instruction, we are given project description. There is nothing to solve in this project description, but I suggest you to go through this project description, get an idea about the assignment, understand this assignment easily so that you can solve this assignment on your own. Then we have main part of the assignment. Then we have main part of the assignment, that is steps to perform to complete this project, and we have a total of 10 steps to get this assignment done. In this video, I am not only going to solve the questions or steps for you, I am also going to make you learn the Excel. So if you want to do this assignment or if you want to learn the Excel, please watch this complete video, follow me step by step, then you will be able to solve this assignment on your own. So now let's start from step number 1. Step number 1 of the assignment is saying start Excel, download and open the file named Exp22 Excel Chapter 2 Mid-Level 1 Payroll. Grader has automatically added your last name to the beginning of file name. I have already downloaded this Excel workbook and you can download this from your course dashboard. We will apply all the instructions, all the steps to this Excel workbook, and we will make this Excel workbook in the final form for the submission. So your first task is to download and open this Excel workbook. Step number 1 of the assignment is just about downloading of the Excel workbook. There is nothing else to solve in step number 1. So now let's move to step number 2. Step number 2 is saying use if functions to calculate the regular pay and overtime pay. So we are supposed to calculate the regular pay in column E and overtime pay in column F. In E and F based on regular 40 hours work week. So base hour are 40 hours. Okay. Be sure to use appropriate absolute or mixed references. Pay overtime only for overtime hours. Note employee receives of 1.5 their hourly wage for overtime hours worked. Calculate the gross pay in cell G5 based on the regular and overtime pay. Spencer regular pay is 440 with 5 overtime hours. Spencer's overtime pay is 82.50. So let's move to the workbook, and first of all we will go to cell E5, and here we are supposed to calculate the regular pay for the Spencer. Okay, type an equal sign and type if. We will get the if function, double click on that to get the if function and click function symbol to enter or insert the function arguments. So our logical test is if D5 is greater than the base hours given in cell B24, but we will make sure that B24 should be absolute cell reference. If this is true, the Spencer regular pay will be the hourly wage given in cell C5 multiplied by B24. Okay. Otherwise, it will be equal to hourly wage multiplied by hours worked. Okay, so we are checking if D5 is greater than B24, that are the base hours, then the regular pay will be the hourly wage given in cell C5 multiplied by the base hours given in B24. Otherwise, the Spencer regular pay will be the hourly wage given in cell C5 multiplied by D5. So we got $440 regular pay for the Spencer. Okay, and that is regular pay. Now we will calculate the overtime pay. Again, we are supposed to use an if function. So type if, double click on that, type functions, enter, click on function symbol to enter the function arguments. Again, we will check if D5 is greater than base hours given in B24. So in this case, we are going to calculate the overtime pay, and it is already mentioned in the instruction that overtime will be only for the overtime work. So we will first calculate the overtime hours that we can calculate by subtracting base hours from the hour worked. Okay, so we are first calculating the overtime hours. So overtime hours will be equal to hours worked minus base hour given into B24. We will multiply this by the overtime rate B25 and also multiply this by the C5 hourly wage. Okay, otherwise it will be equal to 0. So let me repeat this function again. Let me explain this function again. We are going to calculate the Spencer's overtime pay, and overtime pay will be only for the overtime hours. So first we are supposed to calculate the overtime hours. We will check if hours worked are greater than B24, that is the base hour. So here first of all we will calculate the overtime hours, that will be equal to hour work given into cell D5 minus base hour given into the cell B24. We will calculate, we will get the overtime hours, then we will multiply this by the overtime rate 1.5 and multiply this by the hourly wage, otherwise it will be equal to 0. So we got 82.5, that is already mentioned in the instruction. Okay, next we are supposed to calculate the gross pay in cell G5 based on the regular pay and overtime pay. So now we will go to the workbook, and now we are supposed to calculate the gross pay. We will type an equal sign when we will add the regular pay and the overtime pay. When we will add these two pays, we will get the gross pay for the Spencer. Okay, so 522.5 is the gross pay for the Spencer. So that is all about step number 2. So now we're going to do next step of the assignment, that is step number 3. And step number 3 of the assignment is saying create a formula in cell H5 to calculate the taxable pay. Multiply the number of dependents by the deduction per dependents. We will multiply the number of dependents by the deduction per dependent, this one, and subtract that from the gross pay, then we will get the taxable pay. With 2 dependents, Spencer taxable pay is 422.50. So we will go to cell H5, we will type an equal sign. First of all, we are supposed to multiply the number of dependents given into cell B5, multiply this by the deduction per dependent that is given into cell B27, but we will make this absolute reference. Okay, multiply these two and subtract these two from the gross pay that is given into cell G5. So we are subtracting number of dependents multiplied by deduction per dependents, and we will subtract the result from the gross pay, then we will get the result 42.50 50 that is already mentioned in the instruction, that is the taxable pay for the Spencer. So we calculated the taxable pay for the Spencer. Okay, so that is all about step number 3, where we were supposed to calculate the taxable pay. So now we have calculated the regular pay, overtime pay, gross pay and taxable pay. So now let's move to next step of the assignment, that is step number 4. And step number 4 of the assignment is saying insert a lookup function in cell I5 to identify and calculate the federal withholding tax. So now we are supposed to use the lookup function in cell I5 to identify and calculate the withholding tax here. Okay, federal tax that we are supposed to calculate now. With the taxable pay of 422.50, Spencer's tax rate is 25% and the withholding tax is 105.63%. Sorry, dollar. The VLOOKUP function returns the applicable tax rate, which you must then multiply by the taxable pay. So we will go to cell I5 and here we are supposed to use our VLOOKUP function. Okay, now let's move to the workbook. Here we are supposed to use a lookup function. So we will type an equal sign and type VLOOKUP. Okay, now click on function symbol to enter the function argument. So now we are going to calculate the federal tax based on the lookup table or lookup array given here. So our lookup value will be the taxable pay H11 or H5, sorry. Okay, that is our lookup value. So now our table array is also given, that is here D24 up to E28, but we are supposed to use absolute cell referencing for this lookup array or table array. Okay, now column index is the number of column from where we are going to get the values. So we are going to get the values from the second column of this table array. So second column of the table array is the column index, that will be 2, and range lookup is a true. Okay, so let me repeat this function again. We are going to calculate the federal tax using the lookup function, and in this case our lookup value is the H5. Our table array is given into cell D24 up to E28, and column index is the second column because we are going to get the tax from the second column of this table array. Then our range lookup is true. So we got the taxable federal tax for Spencer, that is 0.25%, or that will be the 25%. Okay, so that is all about. Okay, and at the end we are supposed to multiply this by the taxable pay. So multiply this result by the taxable pay that is given here, 105.63 dollar, that we got 105.63 dollar. Okay, so that is all about step number 4, where we were supposed to calculate the federal tax. So we have calculated the federal tax using the lookup function, that at the end we multiplied the tax by the taxable pay, so we got the federal tax. So that is all about step number 4. So now we are supposed to calculate or do step number 5. So step number 5 is saying calculate the FICA in cell J5 based on gross pay and FICA rate, and calculate the net pay in cell K5. Copy all the formulas down the respective column. Be sure to preserve the existing formatting in the column based on the hours Spencer worked. He paid 39.97 to FICA, had a weekly net of 376.90%. $90. Okay, so now first of all we are supposed to calculate the FICA. So type equal sign. Once we will multiply this taxable pay to the FICA rate that is given to cell B26, but make sure that we should use the absolute cell referencing for this one. So we will get the FICA rate. So first we got the FICA for the Spencer. We are multiplying the gross pay given into cell G5 with the FICA rate that is given into cell B26. So we are multiplying the gross pay G5 with the FICA rate B26. We are getting the FICA tax. Okay, so now we are supposed to calculate the net pay. Net pay will be equal to G5, that is the gross pay, minus federal tax minus FICA tax. Then we will get the net pay for the Spencer, that is 376.90. So that's mean we are done with step number 5, where we were supposed to calculate the FICA and net pay. So we are done with 5 steps of the assignment. Now we are supposed to use the fill handler to drag the function down so that we can get all the values. So we got all the values. Okay, so that is all about step number 5. So in this video I have solved 5 steps for you, that is half of the assignment. After completing the remaining steps, you will get a final version of the assignment like this after applying the remaining steps. So I have done this assignment many times for many students. If you want me to do this assignment for you, or if you want me to do this complete course for you, then you can contact me and you can hire me for your complete course. My WhatsApp number and email is showing at the bottom of the screen. Please contact me either through WhatsApp or email and hire me for your courses. I will produce best grade for you in your course. Thank you so much. Please reach out to WhatsApp or email showing at the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much for watching my video.